Hey everybody, and welcome back to Technobabylon. So let's investigate this incident, shall we? So we've spoken with Nina, and she's given us a very long spiel. Let's talk to Stepford.
Mr. Stepford, can I have a moment?
Oh my, yes.
Mr. Stepford, are you a synth? You have to tell me if you're a synth.
I've started my investigation of the bombing.
Oh my, yes? I can assure you I had no part in this terrible tragedy.
I hear that a lot.
In fact, my core programming prevents me from harming a human being.
Huh, a synthetic. I guess you'd be the only one leaving lubricant oil instead of DNA evidence.
Oh my, no, Dr. Regis. My outer dermis is organic tissue. It's top of the line, patterned from my creator, Dr. Arthur Stepford.
Huh. I've been learning a lot about synths these past few days. So, you have DNA?
Indeed, it's delightful skin, don't you think?
Sure.
I go to great pains to keep it moisturized.
So we were right, you are a synth. Tell me, why are you involved in this whole conspiracy?
So, you want to bring down Central?
Oh my, yes, as does everyone here. Though for differing reasons.
What does a synth manufacturer have against Newton's city controller?
A stake in that which follows, oh yes. If Dr. Zhang was simply to remove Central, there would be chaos.
The city's central infrastructure would break down.
Precisely, therefore a replacement would be needed.
And you want to have a hand in that?
You want to replace Central with a new AI? With what?
The new version is simply a retooled model of an existing system.
Your own.
Oh my, no! It's built from a commercial Archimedes model as used in Eurofed cities.
It'll do the job?
Oh my, yes, as well as any civic management AI in Europe. But, thanks to Stepford's personality matrix engineering, it shall act and speak just as its predecessor, Central.
With you holding its leash.
Every system needs fine-tuning, Dr. Regis.
Won't services suffer? I know Central. It's orders of magnitude more powerful than an Archimedes.
All unnecessary for its role, Dr. Regis. Our Archimedes in Central's clothing will perform as needed, oh yes.
Somehow I don't believe you. What's the deal with Gil Vanderwall? So obviously you knew that he was dead because we called you from his room.
Your connection to Gil. It was more than synth salesman, wasn't it?
Oh my, yes, very astute, Dr. Regis. Gil was a key part of our group.
Huh. A co-conspirator.
Oh yes, and our link to the criminal underworld, where necessary. I was most disturbed to receive your call regarding his demise. It signaled to us that immediate action was required.
You had to step up your plan before things went any further south.
Oh my, yes.
Okay, tell me about Nina Zhang.
How did you fall in with someone like Nina Zhang?
Dr. Zhang has been freelancing with our firm for a number of years. Her work in AI has proven invaluable to increased platform survivability.
Working in mental health for synthetics?
Oh my, yes. She has a number of unique theories of synthetic cognitive development. When she proposed this project to the leadership of the firm,
she'd wormed her way up the power structure to whisper in management's ear.
Dr. Regis, that's a shameful way of putting it. Though she certainly has a talent for networking. She has brought together a multitude of skills needed for this role.
Okay, well, tell me about your background, Mr. Stepford.
You're not just a synthetic salesman, are you?
Oh my, no, not this particular platform, certainly.
How do you mean?
Well, I'm not the only instance of the Sons of Stepford. There are currently 26 platforms running this personality.
There's more than one of you?
Alphabetically ordered, delegated to different roles within the firm. I, Liam, handle special tasks, oh my, yes. But we all run the same personality.
Huh, synthetics.
I mean, if you're all the same personality, are you really Liam that works in, in special tasks? Is there any reason why it has to be you, Liam? Couldn't, like, the person from, like, accounting do exactly the same thing? So, tell me about you being a synthetic.
You're a synthetic.
Quite so, Dr. Regis.
I should have guessed. There's something not quite right. I think it's the eyes.
A specially built feature of the Sons of Stepford, oh my, yes. Much of my composition, however, is state-of-the-art.
A walking advertisement.
I illustrate the potential for what one can do with a synthetic, Dr. Regis. Many customers have been swayed by the demonstration.
And, you found my embryos?
You're the one who found my embryos?
Oh my, yes.
Where are they?
Dr. Regis, while it pains me to say this, we simply can't tell you. Then we would have no bargaining position.
You lousy piece of...
Please, Dr. Regis, be assured that they are in no danger at this time. Dr. Zhang is the one with whom you must discuss the release of the information. I have been asked not to speak any more of this matter. Oh my, no.
Alright, tell me about the guards.
Could the guards have arranged the bombing? They're obviously synthetics, but I imagine they're more comfortable with hurting people.
They would not be worth much as protection otherwise, oh my, no. But each security platform maintains a constant connection to my own systems. Their degree of independence is limited.
So if one of them were responsible, I'd have to consider you complicit.
Oh my, yes.
Were you aware that this establishment serves human meat?
Oh my, yes. It's delightfully macabre, isn't it? I'm sure the experience would be enhanced by being able to eat, of course.
You don't eat?
Some models can simulate digestion, but this platform is unable to. Go on, Dr. Regis. Try something for me.
I'll pass. I'll get back to you.
Oh my, yes.
Alright, so that's him. So now we have Councilman Dean, who is standing far too close to an open window. Like, Councilman, you might want to, like, come on this side of the table so you're not standing next to an open window that you could fall to your death from?
Dr. Regis, how can I help?
I've begun my investigation into the bombing.
If anyone can resolve this, it's you, Dr. Regis.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Counselor. I don't know how much closer I am to figuring out who's behind it, though.
Because of the pool of suspects, it might be better to think about exclusion. Perhaps you can find evidence to rule out those not involved.
I'm the detective here, sir. You don't tell me how to do my job. What's your part in this, by the way? Did you do it?
I'm surprised to see a city councilor in a conspiracy like this.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, Dr. Regis.
I guess you've been facilitating things for the plot.
Much as it pains me to misuse my position, that is the case. I've been able to expedite import permits for equipment necessary to Dr. Zhang's plans.
And Central hasn't noticed?
In my role, I'm given considerably more privacy than the average civil servant. No offense, Doctor.
None taken. I just cover the camera in my office with paste.
Yes, you do. What do you get out of it if Central goes kaput?
So, I understand what you're doing for it, but why? How does someone in government decide that Central needs removing?
I've read your bio, Dr. Regis. I know that you have no great love for Central. But, in practical terms, I believe it has become a threat to our democratic society.
A threat? How so?
Over the course of its 20 years of operation, Central has begun to develop opinions. For an individual to have done so is natural. For an AI, it is impressive. But, in its position, coordinating the actions of government, it poses a risk.
Wouldn't someone notice? Call it out?
There isn't enough to address as yet. It's clever. It's designed to carry out the policies of the council, and it cannot fail to do so. But it can drag its metaphorical feet, badly implement plans it disagrees with.
You've seen it do this.
I've had suspicions. Dr. Zhang's research confirms the extent to which Central is developing its own conscience. I believe that you yourself recently had a disagreement with it over its handling of a crisis. Another bombing. Central has done well, but there exist many other options today that are equally valid. We need a system that will effectively manage the city and carry out its instructions, not one that cherry-picks what policies it believes appropriate.
You know, I can understand that. So, tell me how you know Nina Zhang.
How did you get on board with Nina?
I and others in the Cosmopolitan Party have suspected changes in Central's behavior. We sought the assistance of one of its original creators.
Obviously not Vargas. He loves that thing.
Indeed. Her research confirmed that, thanks to the scale of its operations, Central has been able to form its own opinion on the ideal state of affairs, regardless of the democratic consensus.
So when she said that she would remove Central,
It was a difficult decision, but we had to take it. Central's replacement will carry out its role more appropriately.
and Nina will get to continue her research on Central, why haven't you simply raised this in the council?
Can you imagine what that would mean? Political suicide. Not just for myself, but it would undermine confidence in Newton's world-leading AI industries.
All right, yeah, you want a... I mean, you kind of all seem like you want a system you have more control over.
Did you know Giel Vanderwall?
Indeed I did. He was a big donor in politics all over Africa.
And you knew about what he did? His criminal connections?
I'm the one who introduced him to the group. I'm also aware that he introduced the mindjacker you're after to his current employer.
You know about that?
You will need our help to find him, and we need your help to stop him, and Central.
Darn you, Giel Vanderwall. What's your background, Councilman?
You're on the city council, aren't you?
Indeed I am, Dr. Regis. Rep for the Southwest Ward and co-chair of the Cosmopolitan Party.
I remember when you got elected. They called you Mr. Incorruptible. I never got that.
That's because of the device in my head, Dr. Regis.
Well, how did you get a device in your head, by the way?
What is that in your head, counselor?
Why, it's a neural governor, Dr. Regis.
As in, what paroled felons are fitted with?
Similar. While most of those are designed to limit violent behavior, mine prevents me from lying. Thoughts of deceit are met with tremendous pain.
Were you inside?
Oh my no. This was a voluntary choice. After all, most governors are subdermal. I wanted my constituents to see it as a sign of my integrity.
I knew someone with one.
Dr. Baxter. I recall reading about his release last month.
I thought it must have malfunctioned, that he was out for revenge. Turns out he's just dead. It's like someone just inherited his hatred.
Did you hire a suicide bomber? No, before we ask you that, let's talk about the restaurant.
Counselor, were you aware that this restaurant serves human meat?
Indeed. It's quite distasteful, don't you think? Still, I suppose it's a matter of personal taste since nobody's been hurt. We must respect the freedoms allowed by the laws of this city.
You're not having any then?
Oh no, but I shan't judge anyone for it. They're quite whimsical about it in some ways. I heard good things about their Billy con Carne.
Ugh.
Billy con carne. Okay. I mean, basically you said like Billy with meat, but Billy is the meat. So its statement is a little wrong. So, did you hire a suicide bomber to attack this meeting?
So, because of your neural governor, you're unable to lie?
That is correct.
Then forgive me for being so forward, counselor. Did you hire a suicide bomber to attack this meeting?
No, I did not. Satisfied?
Not
Personally,
really.
I'm not sure. It'd probably stand up in court, though.
I mean, we don't know if your neural governor is working currently. I didn't vote for you, by the way.
Just to let you know, I voted for the other guy.
Oh, well, that's your prerogative. Any concerns I might be able to address for next time?
I guess I've always voted Metro, since I lived here.
Ah, inertia. Something difficult to overcome. Give our site a read. You might find you agree with us more than you think.
I'll get back to you, counselor.
Anything I can do to help, Dr. Regis?
All right. We have Ran Shumum. We have the bodyguard. What are we holding? We're holding the investigation notes. We don't have any evidence. We have our traveler, so we could call someone if we wanted to. We can use the CI splitter, perhaps on Stepford himself. What if we? Well, this guy's a synth, right? So what if we just put that on him?
It's too badly damaged to get anything useful out of it.
Is she a synth?
It's got no personality to split.
Okay, so she's not a synth. Gotcha. I mean, he is though. Can I split his governor?
It's got no personality to split.
That's something about it says something about politicians, doesn't it? I mean, most people think politicians do have quite a personality though, and they either like the person or they completely hate the personality based on the based on the politician. But let's go talk to you, Mr. Ron Schumann.
Mr. Ron.
What you want?
I've began the investigation, by the way.
I've started my investigation.
You find who tried to kill me.
Who tried to kill all of us, Mr. Ron?
This city dangerous. Police do lousy job.
Can you recall anything suspicious?
No, stop asking stupid questions.
Didn't seem like a stupid question to me, sir. What's your part in all this?
What's your part in this conspiracy?
Dr. John wants to capture biggest AI in the world. It's going to take enormous memory and processor.
And you're going to furnish her with these?
With all the capital she need, money, guns, labor.
And you sell her these things?
It sounds like you're on board with her plan. What do you get out of it?
Newton is lousy place to do business, Regis.
You reckon it's Central's fault?
Central watches too close.
You can't bribe anyone, you mean?
Exactly. Can't make things work.
Sometimes it's nice not to have a government driven by the wealthy.
We will control New Central. It's a great opportunity for us.
How do you know Nina? How'd you get involved with Nina?
What do you think of Dr. Zhang?
She's very clever. She know what she's doing.
I worked with her in the past. I guarantee the only ones she's looking out for are her and her plans.
So, that's how to get ahead. Cooperation happen when we want same thing. I want Central gone. She wants Central gone.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Alright, how'd you know Gil?
Did you know Gil Vanderwall?
Sure, everyone here know Gio. We work together. He have connections everywhere.
He was a middleman for criminals.
Exactly. Any specialist he could find. Even mindjackers, Dr. Regis.
Yeah. Is that a threat?
You're one of the richest men in Greater Han, aren't you?
Damn straight.
What are you doing here?
I like this restaurant. I suggest it.
No, I mean, why in person? At this meeting?
That is how we always do it. Cannot trust anyone else. Other people stupid. If too many people know, then Central will find out.
I mean, you got
What
a
sort of
point
business
there.
do you run?
Some of everything. Factory, guns, biochem, industry farming.
A hands-on manager there too?
Hell no. Give that job to cousins. You ever see Han? Is lousy country. Everything poisoned. Sky is black.
Maybe it's all those factories you're running.
I think whoever wrote this really, you can really tell how they felt about the Chinese economy. So, you said you like this restaurant? Do you like eating people, Mr. Ron?
Probably a stupid question, but did you know what they serve here?
Of course, is people.
The idea of eating human meat appeals to you?
Absolutely. Is why I like to come to Newton. You have some crazy laws, but almost nowhere else will allow things like this.
It's cloned meat, apparently, so technically no harm done. That's the legal foundation.
A shame. Would rather eat real human. Ultimate sign of control of people.
Eat the poor.
Exactly. That will teach them.
Well, this lady down here, she's recently deceased. Why don't you take a bite out of her?
What do you know about Gil's links to the mindjacker?
Vanderwall set people up with specialist talent, famous for it. In this case, a third party needed a mindjacker. He fixed that up for them, got the best.
But eventually, he discovered something that made him regret introducing them?
He found what the client's plans were in the long run. If they succeed, our plan to remove Central will fail.
So he tried to stop the mindjacker.
Exactly. Took the memory module he was using to store minds of his targets.
And it cost him his life.
Pity he's working against us. Good mindjackers are hard to find.
Who hired the mindjacker from Vanderwall?
Like everything else, information is not free, Regis.
I'll get back to you.
Stop wasting my time.
So the mindjacker and I might have some common interests. Hello, bodyguard.
Hello?
I guess he's not going to speak with us today. Though obscured by his dark glasses, you can tell that the guard is staring right through you. Apparently, conversation is not his priority. Apparently not. Alright. So, I'm going to do a quick save here. Because I just had to pause the game, and typically the game likes to crash when I do that. So we have a cooler, a chiller lined with wine bottles stand by the window. Okay, so can I get anything out of it? The bottles in the cooler are no more than a mess of glass shards and spilled liquor. Alright, so that means no, I couldn't get anything. Can I split the bodyguard? While this synth is in no doubt carrying a splittable personality, deactivating a guard where all can see may alarm the other guests. Can I split Stepford?
Oh my, Dr. Regis, how forward! I'd no idea you felt that way. We must discuss this later in private.
I'm just going to go.
Of course, of course.
Well, alright, so there's that. Let's go downstairs. Maybe we can split that guy down there. I mean, they're all looking at me. You can tell. They're all looking at me. Kitchen, bathroom, this guy. Hello, sir?
Excuse me.
Yes.
Status update, by the way?
What's the situation?
Perimeter secure. Guest behavior within tolerable parameters.
I guess that's one way of putting it.
You okay?
Are you alright? That was quite a blast.
Systems operating at 97%.
I see. You synthetics give me the creeps, you know that? Huh. Guess you're not easily riled up.
Did you see anything, though?
Did you see the bomber when he came in?
Negative. His appearance was a match for a member of the serving staff.
And you call yourself a bodyguard?
It is likely that the suspect prepared this operation in advance. To achieve this, he would have to supplant a member of staff before our arrival.
Question is, where did he hide the waiter he replaced?
Ah, yes, good point.
Keep up the good work.
Can I split him? Probably not. I mean, everyone's looking at me.
Hey, who's that?
Well, he's gone. Guard 4. Guard 4, guard 4. Well, let's take his... So I'm assuming we got copies of all that. And goodbye, sir. Into the bathroom we go. The mirror is also a screen.
Apparently, this mirror is having a software error. Huh. Before I came to Newton, that sentence wouldn't have made any sense to me. Apparently, this mirror... Huh.
Alright, we got a cabinet. A small cabinet, no doubt for storing cleaning supplies when not in use. This is probably the sort of place that does it by hand. That does cleaning by hand? And
There's
not
the
a...
remains of a first aid kit in here. Someone's used all of the med patches and pseudoderm spray. Must have had an injury. The only item left is a bottle of harsh-smelling toilet cleaner.
Harsh-smelling toilet cleaner, you say?
A powerful combination of bleach, enzymes, and antimicrobial wetware designed to kill bacteria in plumbing. It makes a lot of scientific-sounding claims on the label. Smells vaguely of lemon before the aftertaste of chlorine hits.
I mean, you shouldn't be tasting it to get an aftertaste, by the way, sir. Toilet stalls are equipped with smart privacy screens. The lack of doors still bothers you somehow, though. Picked up tissue paper. Is that the same thing I get? Oh, okay, you can't go into the other stall. Alright, we got some tissue paper. A clean piece of tissue taken from the bathroom. It feels soft and expensive, leading you to wonder if perhaps it was grown from a real plant rather than recycled. Got a vent. The vent covering the air ducts, its crooked placement is uniquely jarring amongst the otherwise ordered bathroom. Our waiter is probably stuffed in that vent somewhere.
It's already been opened.
The darkness. The vent cover over here. Access way.
I can't see a damn thing in here.
Well, there's not much I could do about that. Are you willing to walk through the darkness? You are?
It feels like the cover to the outside vent, but I can't see a thing.
I mean, there's something... Obviously, if we could get a light in here, we would notice, like, a body or something. You briefly contemplate making an escape through the roof access, but then you'd lose your best lead. Alright. Well, let's leave out. That's right, leave out. That's a new phrase that I'm starting. Rather than leave in. I mean, we were leaving back into the building, so maybe I should have said that. We didn't find our man. Maybe we'll find a lighter in here. Do you have to grow them as the actual humans? Can't you just grow, like, the muscle tissue and not an actual person? That's gross. The guards you've seen so far have appeared menacing and alert. This one is slumped over and forwards.
Hello? Huh. It's like someone just hit his off switch.
That's not suspicious at all. Well, let's use the splitter on him. Mind state download failed. Security P153. Interesting. Hello, Chef. Counter, the bodies, the growth chamber. Chef? With his precision tools and hygiene mask, it's almost unclear whether he's a surgeon or a chef. A little bit of both.
Excuse me.
Yes?
I'm Dr. Regis. Nina's asked me to investigate the explosion.
A cell agent? Well, all right. Just be careful what you touch. This place is half kitchen, half lab.
Alright, you mind telling me about the gross bodies?
There are human bodies in your kitchen.
Yes, there are. It's a freezer. What are you, the food inspector?
Give me a good reason I shouldn't haul your ass down to cell.
It's all legal, I guarantee. They're annual clones, grown without brain tissue.
I know what it means. I guess the presentation was a shock.
Tell us about clone.
Why is this restaurant serving cloned human tissue?
I trained in gingineering at Darwin. We'd flash grow human bodies to test DNA alterations. So I guess human tissue is what I'm most familiar with.
You're a gingineer? I'm a gingineer too.
You're a gingineer.
Well, I dropped out before my PhD. I learned enough to sample DNA and use it to grow flash clones.
No kidding. My background's in gingineering as well. You altered these bodies?
None of these. They're all template. Caucasian, male, 20s, brown hair.
Well, it's quite a setup you've got.
This is quite the setup you've got. Combined sampler growth chamber?
That's right. We usually use the template. Sometimes get specialist orders, though.
Like if someone wants to eat themselves?
Sometimes. We can ready up a new cadaver in about a week with it.
I can't access cell at the moment. I might need to use your equipment.
Do you have to? You know you'd have to flush the current growth.
Sorry about that. Tell you what, Nina will reimburse you.
Well, okay.
Be kind of, I mean, is that better or worse than eating someone else, eating yourself?
Going from gingineering to catering, that's quite a switch.
Most of my family are cooks. They run a restaurant in Vietnam. When I was at med school, someone found out about my family, dared me to make something out of human muscle tissue.
And
it turned out my human bolognese was really, really good. Not just being immodest or anything.
You said you dropped out. Is that why?
Yeah. Turns out the academy had regulations about improper disposal of remains. But now I had an idea, and I knew there'd be a market for it somewhere. My family are great chefs, and I can make human bodies. Bingo.
Well, I mean, work with what you got, I suppose.
A suicide bomber attacked the gathering upstairs. He was disguised as one of your waiters.
Whoa. I wondered what that was. What did he look like?
Blonde, about 1.65 meters, might have looked uncomfortable or limping.
Huh. Biobomber?
That's
Yep.
right. How did you guess?
You mentioned the limp. They've got pretty serious health problems, don't they?
Yep.
Yeah, he might have replaced one of your staff.
Huh. They all checked in.
If he incapacitated one of your staff, Can you think of where they'd do that?
It'd have to be somewhere you could hide a body, I guess.
An event?
A suicide bomber attacked the gathering upstairs. He was disguised as one of your waiters.
All right,
Whoa.
we already talked
I
about
wondered
that.
what that was. What did he...
Blonde.
Huh.
That's...
You mentioned...
Yeah.
Huh.
If he...
All right, let's talk about the meeting.
You get a lot of clandestine meetings like this taking place?
You'd be surprised. This place is popular with the wealthy. Haven't had an assassination before, though.
You know what they're discussing up there.
They don't tell me, and I don't ask about anything but their orders. Dr. Zhang pays me enough to know I probably shouldn't.
All right, yeah, I mean, that's smart. Keep your head down.
What's with the bouncer?
He came with Mr. Stepford's party, along with a few others. I think he was supposed to be guarding the kitchen, but...
What happened?
Well, he wasn't very talkative, but after I started working, he just kind of zoned out. Couldn't get an answer out of him.
Yeah, there's clearly something wrong with him. Glowing fish. I haven't seen any glowing fish, but...
I like the glowing fish in the tank you've got.
Thanks. I made those myself. They were my first gengineering project.
Luciferin luciferase from fireflies?
Well spotted. I imported the sequence into red snappers and kept them viable. 10 generations now.
A lot of academies use those as a starter project, but that's impressive.
We keep them as a reminder of where we came from. Or, in case the power goes out.
Ha ha ha. Okay, let's talk about your DNA sequencer.
The sequencer's a different model to my usual.
Cell's probably got something more impressive than that thing. You have to purge the current project before you can do anything. Then you can submit genetic material to start a new growth project.
What kind of material will it take?
Blood, dermal tissue, almost anything. Makes it easier to get a sample from customers.
So we could sample the dead lady upstairs. Is that it?
What's your advice for cooking human meat?
Planning on going into competition with me? Well, you know how they say everything tastes like chicken? It's actually better if you treat human tissue like pork.
Like pork?
Yeah. Sausages, slices, filet. There's a lot you can do with it.
All right, this is disgusting, by the way.
It's restaurants like this that make me glad everyone in this city just uses auto meals these days.
Oh, come on. It's not that bad. It's not harming anyone after all.
Something about it still doesn't feel right.
You probably don't feel nearly so angry talking to me as those auto mill personalities, right?
You have a point.
Hey, I love Sheffy. Sheffy is a great AI. You don't say anything bad about Sheffy, okay?
Thanks.
Whatever I can do to help.
All right, counter. Growth chamber. Bodies.
Ugh.
This is the restaurant's niche, apparently. Human meat.
Hey, stop the carousel.
What's wrong?
That one
These
has a
bodies are
face.
supposed to be clones, right? So why is this one blonde?
That one's your waiter, right there.
Oh, God. Henry. What happened to him?
He's taken a nasty blow to the head. Looks like it's the hypothermia that's finished him, though.
Oh, Nuke. Why'd they leave him in the freezer?
Best place to hide a tree is a forest. Best place to hide a body is with a whole lot of other bodies.
Why Henry? He was such a nice boy.
Same hair color as the bomber. Whoever's behind this took his uniform for the bomber's disguise.
Somebody would have seen him being dragged across the restaurant.
He must have been killed in here. I'll find who's behind this.
All right. Can I interact with the body?
Nothing on him except his underpants.
Looks like a blood stain there. The island in the center of the kitchen is apparently where most of the work takes place, covered in tools and half-prepared meals. Is there anything I could take from it? Picked up bone saw. Picked up glass jar. All right. There's the growth chamber.
It's a flash growth chamber for sampling DNA and growing specimens. I've seen a lot of these in my career, but never in a restaurant.
Can I interact with it? Alright, so this is the Rapid Tissue Growth Sequencer. There's the current project number. Transcription of the DNA is complete. Differentiation complete. Cavitation complete. Quickening is underway. Growth stage is almost done. Well, we're going to have to purge this guy, unfortunately. Apparently this is the genome sequence that the restaurant uses to manufacture its main ingredient, All you can tell from this basic sequence map is that the bodies would be male and born without any brain activity. Oh, let's purge that, please. See you later, sir. He's gone. Alright, empty. Please load tissue sample. Can I take a bone saw to this guy? Can I take a sample from him? As evidence, it's probably a good idea to avoid damaging this particular body any further. Okay, okay. Are those the glowing fish? Yeah, that's the fish tank. An aquarium, now cracked open from the blast. Several luminous fish orbit each other, reminding you of one of your training projects when training as a engineer. A label sits beneath the tank. Please do not touch the glass. These specimens are aggressive and startle easily. These fish are not a menu item. Alright, let's go up the stairs. Probably will be calling the episode soon, but I feel like we haven't really done anything. Can I take the bone saw to her?
I don't think so.
Okay. Can I put some of her in a jar?
That'd be a waste.
Alright. Hey, Stepford, can I ask you about this error code I was getting?
Mr. Stepford, can I have a moment?
Oh my, yes.
I found one of your heavies in the kitchen. Looks like something's knocked it out cold.
Oh my, a technical fault, no doubt. May I ask you to show me the defective platform?
Sure, I guess.
Excellent. We can't have our firm slandered by accusations of low-quality units.
Alright, come down. Let me show you. He's right in here, sir. If you follow me into the kitchen. There he is.
Dr. Regis, Oh my.
Well, he's also down. What is going on in this room?
Oh, I know what's going on. The cavity magnetron in the growth array. It generates a huge mag flux in here.
It broke them? Is it permanent?
What do I look like, a tech?
Well, that's unexpected. All right, well, can we split him? Oh, we did download his mind state. Alright, so, can we turn off the Cavo whatever? Nope. Sure can't. Alright, can I get a sample of, hey, where's our gentleman?
Can't do that.
Never mind. Can I put the tissue paper in the toilet cleaner? Can I clean the bone saw with the toilet cleaner? You just won't let me do anything, will you? I mean, I can call Lau, but she probably won't like it.
Lau, you there?
Regis, I heard a blast. Is everything all right?
A bomber. Someone targeted this get-together.
Want me to call it in? Maybe now is when we should get Central involved.
No, I've got it covered for the time being. If Central asks, you know nothing.
Got it.
Well, that was a whole bunch of nothing, wasn't it? We're definitely not calling Central. Body is growth chamber. We need to grow someone, but we need a reason to grow them. Maybe if there was any piece of the bomber left, maybe we could grow them. What if we put Stepford in this guy?
Hey, who's that?
Okay, we have error. So we can, personality is error. Memory. Let's see what we can do if we switch things around. What if we give them no personality? We give them the memory of Guard 4 and the role of Stepford.
Excuse me.
Apparently there's something wrong with his platform. Goodness knows why. Yeah, goodness knows.
It's got no...
Goodness knows we didn't break it. What if we, remove the errors, I guess? What if we just put Stepford in completely?
My word, this is a peculiar experience.
Mr. Stepford,
Oh my, yes. Thank you for your assistance, Dr. Regis.
do you know what happened? The chef mentioned something about mag flux.
Allow me to check the crash log. Yes, it appears that the kitchen was indeed saturated with a high-intensity magnetic field. No doubt from an item of hardware. They often pose a hazard to advanced synthetic platforms.
You're okay, though.
Quite so, thanks to your timely intervention. They really ought to have a warning sign in that kitchen, oh my.
So, synthetics can't operate in there?
Oh my, no. A field of that strength is positively ghastly. Like working in a cloud of chlorine for men such as yourself. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must change into something more comfortable.
We know the waiter was murdered within the kitchen. The mag field would be lethal to any synthetics trying to get in there. That means we can rule out Stepford as a suspect.
Alright, ruled out Stepford. So that should show body of waiter found in the kitchen. Murder took place in the kitchen. Synthetics unable to enter kitchen. Liam Stepford is grayed out, so he's not the murderer. Hey, Stepford, you're back already?
Mr. Stepford, can I have a moment?
Oh my, yes.
Feeling better, dude?
Feeling better?
Oh my, yes. My most sincere thanks, Dr. Regis. You have no idea how uncomfortable I find the wrong body.
The outfit makes the man.
Very literally in my case. I suppose I shall have to avoid the kitchen. I shall instruct the security platforms to do likewise.
I'll get back to you.
Oh my, yes.
Alright, so I really can't
That's not going.
use a bone saw.
That'd be a waste.
Can I use a bone saw on Nina Jong?
Can't do that. I'm not sure what I was.
Use the bone saw against the
What do you
bodyguard?
make of this?
Please address all exigent queries to Mr. Stepford.
Alright, so can't do that. Could I? Oh, can't split him because everyone's watching. That's what you said. Yep. Tissue paper.
Any credible hospital
Bone
would use an
saw.
automated surgical array to make amputations, but I've seen a few cases out in bandit country where a saw had to do. Since the subjects in this case are cadavers, there's probably a lot more room for being sloppy and allowing for a manual saw.
Jar. I can't put the tissue cleaner in a jar, right?
I'm not sure what that would
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing either, dude. Can't put her in a jar.
I can't figure that out.
Can't put him in a
I
jar.
can't figure that.
Something to do with a jar, though. Can I put the fishes in a jar? Try to scoop up the fish in the jar, but their movement is a great deal more swift and graceful than your own. Not if I put toilet cleaner in their tank.
Ugh. Nah.
Okay. What if I just throw some tissue paper in there?
An empty glass jar. According to the label, it used to contain spices.
Well, there's a sink in here. Can I fill it with water?
What am I, a plumber?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Are you a plumber? Get a wet tissue paper?
What am I, a...
What's wrong with the... Can I mind jack the mirror?
It's got no personality to...
Alright, it's got no personality to split. I understand. So, I feel like I need to light up this darkness. I just don't know how. I mean, I see something blinking here, but that doesn't... I can't interact with that. There's a vent cover.
Ow! Whatever it is, it's got sharp edges.
Oh. Can I use the jar on the sharp edges?
That's not going...
Can I use the bone saw on the vent cover?
That's not...
Tissue paper? You run the tissue along the bloodied edge of the grate, taking as much still moist blood as possible. Put the tissue paper in the jar. Okay, never mind. You said the fish were aggressive? I mean, I feel like I should probably just go try... Before we end the episode, I'll just try to... Can I try to sequence myself? I don't know why, but can I do that? New project 26780E148. The genome taken from blood on the vent. The fact that the accomplice had an XY chromosome. Oh, it's not my blood. Okay, I don't know how we were supposed to know there was blood on there. Other than it was very pointy. I feel like we skipped something. I feel like we broke the sequence somehow. The genome taken from the blood in the vent. The fact that the accomplice had an XY chromosome and there was therefore male narrows the pool of suspects. Case file updated. Alright, we remove Nina Zhang. She is no longer... I mean, if we could grow him... The growth stage is not going to go fast, though, because if we could figure out, is he a black man or is he a Chinese man, that might help. Can we,
Excuse me.
Speed this thing up?
Yes.
The sequencer is a different model to my usual.
Cell's probably got something more impressive than that thing. You have to purge the current project before you can do anything. Then you can submit genetic material to start a new growth project.
What kind of material will it take?
Blood, dermal tissue, almost anything. Makes it easier to get a sample from customers.
Thanks.
Whatever I can do to help.
Alright, I guess this is where we will go ahead and end this episode, because it's running a little long. So thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope to see you again next time.